Everyone is missing this, as Alperen Şengün went off in his home country of Turkey, and people back home took notice of the moves that Şengün was able to use, including his newest teammate, Kevin Durant. We talk about it all, show you some clips of Alpi balling out in Turkey, and so much more right here on Rockets Digest. We're happy you chose to join us here today. I'm Jace Andrews. As always, we recommend you hit that subscribe button. It's 100% free, and we're covering the Houston Rockets on a daily basis, 365 days of the year here on Rockets Digest. All right, here is the article we are going to be talking about today. Different. That is the word that is being described by Kevin Durant of Alperen Şengün's elite play in Turkey. Now, they were both the Western Conference All-Stars last year. Now, they're officially teammates in Houston, but Kevin Durant always likes to be on Twitter talking about, what's going on, sometimes defending himself. This time, though, it was talking about Alperen Şengün. Here is his stat line in Turkey: 25 points, 9 rebounds, 4 assists for Alperen Şengün against Germany. And the official stat line here from Ben DeBose of Rockets Wire saying, quote, "In under 32 minutes played, Şengün led the way with 25 points, 9 rebounds, and 4 assists while making 8 of 11 shots, 72.7% clip on that 8 of 11, and 7 of 9 free throws, a 77.8% clip on that. That total included a number of highlight moves, most notably a crossover spin from the perimeter that led to a dunk." Now, this is the move that caught everybody's attention. You see, a lot of big men, especially with Alperen Şengün being a center in the NBA, are not able to make a spinning move behind the arc and then run all the way for a dunk. And so, Alperen Şengün came. Here is the video clip if you have not been able to see it. It's a very cool thing to see Alperen Şengün move like that. Obviously getting around the defender there and driving to the lane, getting through a couple of defenders in the lane, and using that right hand to hammer it home. It's a cool thing to see. We'll run it back one more time just because it's that good. It's very fun to watch basketball again. Like, obviously, I'm a guy who watches all 82 Rockets games in the regular season, every post game as well, so I am ready for basketball. So seeing Alperen Şengün go to the lane for a dunk is just getting me excited just talking about it. So I'm really excited for that. But that was the move that I'm going to say, quote unquote, went off on social media. Obviously, people are not exactly seeing it, hence why we're making this video. But somebody asked Kevin Durant with this video on it and said, "Hey, you peep what Şengün did today? What other big move? What other big is moving like this for real?" And Kevin Durant responded with one word: different. That just gets my jitters going. I am so excited to watch these two guys play together. Obviously, once again from Ben DeBose. One person who noticed it was a new Rockets teammate, Kevin Durant, a future Hall of Famer and former Most Valuable Player MVP, responded to the clip of the move. Durant simply summed it up with one word, end quote. We obviously know that word was different. Now, there's a lot of talk about Kevin Durant and how much he's going to help the Rockets, and a lot of people say he's not a leader. And while I do somewhat agree with you, he is not a leader by talking. He's not going to be that vocal. He is a leader by example. He works hard. He has a very good work ethic and puts a lot into training his body, especially since his his Achilles tear. So it is something that the Rockets are noticing, and he wants to be in Houston, which makes me believe that maybe we're going to have a little bit more of a leadership role from Kevin Durant, but obviously we won't know for about a month or so. Here's kind of the finishing article for Ben DeBose saying, quote, "Durant was responding to an ex-user who asked another big gunman on space or fluidly in the space. The list is quite small, and it's a unique skill set that Durant will try to help Şengün maximize once training camp opens for the 2025-2026 Rockets next month," end quote. So it's obviously something that the Rockets are excited for. Training camp is going to be fun because, again, I mentioned Kevin Durant being a lot of help to the Rockets. A majority of the talk is how much KD is going to be able to help Jabari Smith Jr. And while that is 100% true, I'm very excited to see him help Alperen Şengün as well because, as you can see, the height is there for both of them. Not to say it isn't for Jabari Smith, but Kevin Durant never played center, but the Rockets in some ways use Alperen Şengün different than any other center because, well, he can do things like this clip. No other center in the NBA is doing stuff like this. And so in that nature, you're being able to use Alperen Şengün in a way different light. Now, Şengün has also been working on his three ball. Hopefully that's something that has been improved upon in the offseason. Spent a lot of it in Turkey. In fact, Dylan Brooks went up there. I believe Fred VanVleet was up there for a little bit. So lots of Rockets, or former Rockets teammates, I guess, for Dylan Brooks, RIP, are joining Alpi up there in Turkey, just working out with him, having a good time, and trying to get ready for the upcoming season, in which hopefully the Rockets will be on a title run. Now, obviously, want to kind of focus in here on both Alperen Şengün and Kevin Durant, because I believe we'll see another jump from Alperen Şengün. Obviously, from the previous year to this past year for Alperen Şengün, it was a really, really big jump. Got to an all-star level caliber. 19.1 points per game, was averaging over 30 minutes per game, and a double-double with the rebounds per game. Now, it was awesome to see when we got to use him in the double big with Steven Adams. That was something that really kind of increased the Rockets' capacity and the way they were able to use their lineups. And I believe we're going to see a lot more of that this season, because if you remember watching last season, double big was a thing. Probably it wasn't really a huge thing until the playoffs, but it really just kind of started about March area, like February, March area was when we first kind of started to see that double big being used in a actual capacity and important minutes in the game. So I was excited to see it then, and now we're going to get a whole season, and not only going to have Steven Adams, we're going to have Clint Capella, and we're going to have Kevin Durant, and so many other guys. And speaking of KD, I'm very excited to see him in a Rockets uniform. Obviously, the points are there, the intangibles are there for him, but one thing that, if you're a Phoenix Suns watching this video, I don't know why you're watching this video, first of all, but second of all, I'm going to offend you right now. The Phoenix Suns roster is not as good as the Houston Rockets roster. It wasn't as good as the Houston Rockets last year. So people are going to have to focus more on Kevin Durant, yes, but that's going to open up Alperen Şengün. That's going to open up Amen Thompson. That's going to open up Fred VanVleet, Dorian Finney-Smith. I mean, there's so many players that they're going to have to watch out for, whereas in the Phoenix Suns organization, yeah, you had Devin Booker. That's great, but in the NBA, you're going to have at least two guys on each team that you're going to have to really worry about. If you can have more than that, that's where it starts to get a little hectic. In the Rockets, I would argue that most of their starting lineup is people you have to worry about, because they can go off at any time. And that's something that makes good teams great. It's the ability of not just one player being the one to make all the points every single game. Not just one player doing it all for the team. Now, are you going to have superstars like Kevin Durant, running the table, or last year having Alperen Şengün be the best player? Like, yeah, for sure, that's going to happen in the NBA. But if you're able to have a guy produce like every other night and it be a different guy, that's what truly makes good teams great. And so I thought of an interesting question for today's show, because obviously Kevin Durant coming over to Houston, it's going to open up other people. And so with that being said, I'm curious your thoughts. Who will have the biggest jump in production this season thanks to Kevin Durant joining the Rockets? Let me know in the comment section who you believe that will be. I'll kind of give you my opinion in just a second, but go down there and put your comments down there. All right, so in terms of who I think is going to have the biggest jump, it's a little bit because of KD. I think it's Amen Thompson. I'll put that out there, because he just is ready for that jump. Everybody's been talking about his breakthrough. He's going to be a starter from day one. He's going to be at that guard position. And so being able to have him at a starter from day one, rather than kind of, getting a starting role in the season because Jabari got injured, is something that I think is a little bit less value than people talk about, or not as value as it should be, I should say. And also, I don't know if it's necessarily because of KD that he's going to get better, but I just see a production jump. Now, if you want to double answer that question, I think if you're doing it based solely on Kevin Durant and who exactly is going to have the biggest jump because of Kevin Durant, I think you have to say Jabari Smith Jr. Simply put, he has a similar body type. He has a similar physique. He has a similar gameplay as Kevin Durant. And honestly, the way the Rockets are talking about it, Kevin Durant is going to train Jabari Smith Jr. to be a baby Kevin Durant, so that way when Kevin Durant does retire, Jabari Smith Jr. can pop right in to that small forward position, and you got a guy who hopefully at that point is, one of the top players for the Rockets, if not a top player in the NBA. So that's kind of the guy I think, based off Kevin Durant alone, that will probably make the biggest jump. But I think it's a double question, because I think Amen Thompson's going to make the biggest jump, but I don't necessarily believe it's because of Kevin Durant. I think it's because of the work he's able to put in. But yeah, that was a really cool video clip to see. We'll show it to you one more time. Why not? Here's that last little clip there, but yeah, it's an exciting thing to see Alperen Şengün ball out there, and obviously him and Kevin Durant going to be able to work together here in training camp in about a month. So excited for that, and excited for all we got coming here for you on Rockets Digest. That's all we got for you today. We appreciate you watching. If you made it to the end of the video, you obviously are enjoying the content. So go down there and hit that subscribe button. Don't miss out on any of your Rockets coverage, and we'll see you next time here on Rockets Digest. Peace out, guys.